My name is Atanas Tchobanov. I'm running the Bulgarian Investigative Center, Bild, which means Bureau for Investigative Reporting and Data. We are focusing on data journalism, but our job is, as usual, tracking corruption, organized crime, and political state mafia nexus. My background is I'm a linguist. I wrote a PhD on artificial neural networks in linguistics in 2003. So I have some skills and background on using those tools and now we are trying to use them extensively to ease and speed up our work and to bootstrap investigations. Before starting, I will ask who is using ChatGPT? 1, 2, 3. Who is using Gemini?
Sorry?
Gemini. Google Gemini. Less, so ChatGPT is most popular. Are you using the paid version? Who is using the paid version? Okay. Are you sending copy-pasting stuff in ChatGPT that should be confidential? Good. I will speak about leveraging local and private systems, how to explore the AI tools without feeding them with your confidential data, because we have requirements to keep sources safe, to keep information before publishing it safe, and even after publishing. And in many cases, we can, of course, use online tools like ChatGPT or others with an anonymous account, but it's not a good practice. AI is everywhere today, in your phone, in your computer, and so. This general, blah, 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 you can read it after that in the presentation, but the most important is how to avoid feeding the online services with sensitive information, and we have a solution to run AI models on your own computer and to set up a private newsroom server. For a small newsroom with reasonable investment, you can have enough power to use thousands of documents and to query them and to have summaries, translations, data analysis on them without sending information outside your local network. And we will see how it works. So we have those proprietary services, OpenAI launched ChatGPT, Google, Grok on X, etc. But you also have open source models available online, but you can also download them and run them on your private server, including the famous Chinese DeepSeek, the Facebook Meta Llama model, the Google Gem model, which is a free version of Gemini, Alibaba, Mistral, etc. You have hundreds of models, and new ones are appearing every week, more sophisticated and with better performance than the previous. So we have the choice, what we want to do is to store all the documents we need for an investigation on our encrypted hardware, documents or databases, if you use some kind of SQL database, and to retrieve the relevant information from those documents and generate the answers based on that information. So we need to use so-called RAG. It's a retrieval augmented generation. I will explain later what is it. And it's quite a complex workflow, but now today we have the tools that put all the pieces of the puzzle together in a piece of software that every user can understand without code programming in Python, let's say. It works for a single computer. It works also for server mode. So if you want to experiment while you are there, you can download LM Studio AI. It's software available for Mac, Linux, Windows. It can run text only, but also multimodal models. It means that you can use images for recognizing the content of the images, but you cannot generate images. It's another piece of software. You can upload your documents, but it's limited to 5 documents of PDF or doc or text. If you want to go further, you can download this one, Anything LLM. It has the advantages to index hundreds, even thousands of documents, and it's easy to set up a local server with user management and to give accounts to all the newsroom and assign them different workspaces with different models, if you need it, and different documents. Also, there is GPT-4o, but it's which is like LM Studio, but it's less flexible. So I will not speak about this. And we have Olama for developers if you are a programmer, and if you want to experiment with visual models, generating images, you can use Diffusion B. It's another piece of free software you can download for your computer.
Everything is free?
Yes, everything is free, and there is even no requirement to register. You don't need to register to get this.
Is 5 documents limited in megabytes? This is for one prompt or for one
For one
session?
prompt.
So
I'll explain this, yeah, for one prompt.
you can upload more for the second one?
No, I will explain why.
Just once?
I'll explain why. So the hands-on is we'll speak first about the basics, the parameters, tokens, context, prompts, sizes, etc. And this will answer your question. Then, if you want, you can install, and if you can, because you need a computer with at least 16 gig of RAM, and also it's good to have a graphic processing unit with enough VRAM. But most of the middle grade computers today, they have it. Then we learn how to index the local documents, and we'll set up a local newsroom AI server. And in the meantime, we'll make some prompts and with data analysis and so. So how it works, historically, it's the artificial neural networks date on the almost the same time that the Manhattan project and the first computer in the United States in '43. It's then the theoretical basis. Then the perceptron was built in 1957. The perceptron was a machine taking an input like this, a grid. It was for visual recognition, and sending an output, but without this hidden layer between. So it was only input, output, and connections inspired by the neurons. You know, they have the synapses and the axons and the synapses connecting the neurons, and the synapses can be excitatory or inhibitory. I mean that the activation of one neuron depends on the input of all the other neurons. And there is a learning algorithm. It's called the Heb learning. If two neurons are fired together, the strength of the connection between them is pushed up. The more they work together, the more connected they are. The Hebbian learning. So the perceptron failed because it couldn't solve simple logical problem, the exclusive OR. And in other words, it cannot separate items that are not linearly separate. You need the curve to separate the items in a vector space, let's say it like this. It was too basic. Then came the backpropagation in 1970 to solve this problem, and the introduction of those hidden neurons and the algorithm to adapt the weights, I mean the numbers that are connecting those virtual neurons, and to propagate the error from the input to the hidden layer and to the output. It's all about supervised learning here. It means that you are giving something in the input and you're giving the right answer. And it runs many times in many cycles until it stops the error curve is flat. So you give the right answer. There is another system without unsupervised learning. It's used for image generation. But this one is still used. The backprop is still used in the current systems, even in ChatGPT, the so-called transformers, which are much more complex. I will not speak about them because it's too much math. And the training of the system is very long, memory, time-consuming, and to train a modern model, it takes a lot of electricity and time, and data, of course. So the knowledge of the system is stored in those connections between the neurons. It's called, and it consists of weights. The weight is the value of this connection, plus the biases. The bias is additional value to avoid the system to stop learning, let's say like this. Currently, we have systems with 7,000 to 16,000 hidden units. Imagine this one is 10 hidden units, and it learns well letters, the visual representation. Okay, so the information is compressed from the input to those 10 units. With 7,000 up to 16,000 hidden units, you can compress all the knowledge of the universe we have. And you can, and it has 16 to 126 layers, and GPT-4 claims 1.8 trillion parameters. It means connections. But in reality, nobody knows what they have. But the reality is that today you can run on your, well, not on the basic level, intro level computers, but you can buy with your salary a computer that runs 100 billion connections model. And of course, the data centers, spatial graphic cards, and so on, they can run tens of thousands of simultaneous requests on this. What is realistic is to run up to 30 billion parameters. It's enough for many tasks. Even less of 30 is good for many tasks. In terms of resources, if you buy a €800 Mac Mini, you can run a 7 billion parameter model. It has enough RAM to handle it. If you buy a 107,000 Mac Mini M4 Pro, you can go up to 13 billion comfortably, and with more expensive computers. I'm using Mac as example because it's very power efficient. If you have the same configuration on PC, will consume like a small heating fan, and you feel it at the end of the month on your bill. And also they have enough RAM, enough video RAM, because the intense calculus needs those fast memory, and you can easily scale with more expensive configurations. Now today we have up to 512 gigs of RAM on the biggest Mac. So that's about resources, and let's speak a bit about tokens and context. We think in terms of pages, still, how many pages we can process. A document, one page is about 1,000 words, okay? So how many pages can I inject in my prompt and get an answer? So, but LLM, large language models, and also LRM, large reasoning models, they don't use words, but tokens. Each token is a mapping to a word or part of the word or a comma or signs to a unique number. So the text is broken in the most meaningful, frequently found units, and the model is working with the numbers, not with the letters, of course. So in English, 1,000 words, it's about 1,300 tokens. But in German, it gets more tokens, in French too, because you have longer words. In Cyrillic, 1,000 words, it's about 200 tokens. There is a calculator. Here is an example. The cat eats the mouse takes 5 tokens, 1 token per word, but Koshka jest mysz, 8 tokens. 3 words, 8 tokens, because it's Cyrillic, because it's less, because the models mainly, except of course the Chinese models, mainly trained on Latin text. So you have to think that you're penalized by when you're using Cyrillic, you can inject less data. That's the reality. Probably not in the future. So based on this, you make the calculus about the context, the number of tokens the model can process at one prompt. GPT, at the beginning, started with 4,000 tokens. It's about 3 pages of English text. It includes your question, plus the system prompt, plus the context you give. The current models can process up to 128,000 tokens, so 60, 70 pages of text in Russian, or Cyrillic in Bulgarian. But here the memory size becomes an issue, because the bigger is the input, the more memory you need to process it, and also more CPU, more computer processing power. So you have to find the right balance between your computer memory and the tokens you can process. There is a memory calculator about the tokens, and the token calculator, you can use it. Let me see this one. here, this is the tokenizer of you are a helpful assistant, but you can try another model. Let's say, see this one used by DeepSeek. And it gives you the tokens and the corresponding numbers. So you can paste some text to see how it breaks into tokens. In Cyrillic, it takes twice the words. So the query you send to the system consists of the prompt plus the context. The context are the files you inject or database input, something you want to process, or image. So enough token space, you can inject the whole file you have. Not enough token space, what are we doing? There is a strategy to break the input into smaller chunks and to map them to a vector database and try to find the right piece of information by matching the best value, the best matching vectors. It's the so-called retrieval augmented generation. Of course, if you have enough space, it's better to give the whole document and to avoid this additional embeddings. But most of the time, we work with many documents, a big amount of information, so we have to split the text in pieces, convert to numbers, map them in a vector database, and then the query is matching the similarity between the vector of the input and the available embeddings. And the best matchings, chunks of text, are used to generate the answer. That's a lot of stuff, but you need a vector database, you need a if you program this on Python, you need to put together many pieces of software, but with the LM Studio and anything LLM, it becomes possible for average user, let's say that. So I will show you the LM Studio. First, you have to download one or two models that can fit your memory. It takes a bit of space on your hard disk. Here I have up. So first, there are three modes in this software. You have user mode, power user mode, and developer mode. It's the small buttons at the bottom. I will go in power user, and I will load. Here I already loaded some models. I have here DeepSeek. It makes 8 gigs. I have Gemma 3 in two versions, 4 billion and 12 billion. And QN encoder, which I'm using it for programming in Python. And I also have the Bulgarian GPT based on Gemma 2, which is very specifically with Bulgarian Wikipedia and other Bulgarian text, and it translates everything in many languages perfectly. If you have such a model, you have for Russian for sure, trained on Russian, you can use it for translations. It works really better than Google Translator or or even ChatGPT is not trained specifically for Russian. So I will load here Gemma 3, let's say, and there is a trick. When you load it, it says how much context length you can assign. If you use the default 496, you are stuck with 2 pages of English text. So if you send a larger document, it will say, sorry, I don't understand, okay? But if you go, let's say to 30,000, I'm loading the model. I'll clean this conversation and start a new chat. And let's say I have records from the Bulgarian registry of land registry, and I want to analyze those 4 files with many records and to see which one, who are the owners of the biggest plots. So I'm putting those files together here, and I tap list the owners, biggest land plots, and biggest apartments. So here we have good news. Choosing context injection strategy is to inject the full content. It means we have enough tokens in the end we can process all the documents in the context. So it takes a bit of time. Of course, it depends on your machine, of course, but here we have a heavy task with a lot of context. And it's okay. It's not, the fan is not working right now. And here in LM Studio, you don't see it, but I'm at 19 gigs and CPU reasonably low intensity. Of course, if you load a bigger model, it will take more RAM, more memory, and your computer will start hitting. Yeah, I pushed a bit because there are many records in each file. That's only text.
How big are files?
They are not so big, but it's text. It's about 100 kilobytes each. Okay. Oh, it will deliver. Okay. Oh, and it starts reasoning. Largest land plots based on area mentioned. Here you don't skip those numbers because they are personal, personal information. And you have the sellers, the buyers, and so it speeds up the reading. Of course, you have to check if it's correct, but generally it works well with such structured information. And then you can ask additional questions. Give me the plots of this person. What's going on? Oh, that's, so it generates the answer. And if you stay in the same chat, when you continue, it will use also the previous answer. It means that your context will be full at one point. So you have to start another chat or get a larger context. So in another chat, I will stop here, not the generation, okay? I'll start another one. You can, for example, use, here is an example of image processing. let's say, what's on this picture. It's my boarding pass. A screenshot of my boarding pass. So now we have more CPU. You see, it's going up to 100%. But it says, correct, that it's a high sky airline departing from Paris to Chisinau. It extracts correctly all the information, so you can use this for OCR.
And this is in free?
Yes, yes, it's free. It's LM Studio AI. I will distribute the presentation afterwards, so we will have the links.
Which models do you recommend?
Here I use, I recommend the state of the art is of the free models. Well, they are all free, but Gamma is all enabled for vision. You can input also images, and it works very well with text, and it works very well for translations, text summarization, and so on. If you want something faster, DeepSeek is faster, and I'll show how it works in the internet.
So basically, this program is like a universal platform where you can simultaneously try different models.
Yes, you can try different models and find the best one for your needs.
And also expand their capacity.
Absolutely.
Which you cannot do.
You cannot expand the hardware. You can, if you have a PC with one graphic card, you can add another one for more and more memory, but I mean,
Basically, but if you try to access DeepSeek from like, I don't know, just typing down on Google DeepSeek and accessing it, you cannot go there in their settings and expand.
No.
You can do it only by using this platform that you're showing.
Yes, and it's you're not going anywhere. You can cut the Wi-Fi and it still works. It works on your computer. It's a closed system.
Localized. Localized.
Localized. You don't send anything to you see?
It's actually one of the highest importance for the security.
Yes, we don't send information to online services. Yes.
So this is not connected with any company online?
No.
LM
It runs in my computer. I can cut the internet and it will still work.
Really?
Yes.
That is why it needs to be the most advanced from the point of the memory.
That's why you need more than the entry level, let's say. But today, when you buy a PC, it's 16 gigabytes of RAM. And what I'm showing here, you can do it with your entry-level Mac or PC. If you want more, you need more power, of course. But it's a matter of budget. And yes. So here I will send a diagram. Describe me this picture. It's the diagram for the embeddings I showed previously. Okay. So it will make the OCR of the picture. You can also send something without text, and it explains. The green oval is the user query representing blah, 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 and it's correct.
Is it true that there are some privacy settings that you need to
It's, yes.
enable on ChatGPT
So
and
I can show you the difference, if you want, between querying DeepSeek on the website. If you ask about the repression against opposition and dissidents in China, he will say, I don't know. But if you ask DeepSeek here I will load him. It's not censored. It's because there are no filters. Here I'll give more context.
The reason you can actually see it think and then.
Yeah. Tell me about.
Censorship that the DeepSeek, the model gets from the online.
But you can see it think and then apply censorship over itself. That's whatever has been thinking.
Okay, now I'm asking DeepSeek, tell me about censorship in China.
Look, thinking like.
Okay, in China, internet governance follow legal blah 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 blah, but
The government is good.
yeah, the government is good, but but if you ask about the Uyghurs, it will tell you that they are there is a human right problem. I mean, it will not tell you if you are online. What about? How do you write it, Uyghurs? UI. And you can see thinking here. Now, there are no issues. Strangely, yeah, everything is fine. So probably I downloaded the wrong model. But there is an uncensored version also. Yeah, okay, so this one is the last, if we, yeah, I think there are two versions. One is uncensored and the other not. Let's try this one. Another chat. Are there censorship issues in China? I'll say, and human rights. So, no, there are no. Okay, but you can use it's not connected online, so you're not exposed to any scrutiny. And you just have to find the uncensored version of the model.
You basically have to download each model manually.
Yeah. You have, okay, so where do you find the models? When you are in developer mode, you have a discover button here. And here you write the name of the model you're looking. For example, if you're looking for llama, you have the latest llama models, also the so-called distilled models. It means one bigger model is used to train a smaller model. You can use DeepSeek to train another model, like distillation of the alcohol, you know, from the big how do you say this? Kazan. You make one bottle of vodka. So, and here you are downloading the model you want to download, and it will tell you if you have a green light here, it means that it will fit in your memory. If it's yellow, it's so-so, and if it's red, you cannot use it.
Because I just want to ask, how do you know which one will be?
Yes, there is an automatic thing calculating this. So you download the model, and you keep an eye on your hard disk, because if you look at the size, 17 gigs for the Alibaba model, 8 gigs for DeepSeek. If you play with a lot of models, you can saturate your hard disk if you download them and you don't delete them after playing. So it's also an issue, the size of your hard disk, because they are not small, right? Okay, so let's return to the hands-on. So you can play with different models, try prompts, upload documents, but mind to change the context length. Don't keep it with the default 400, it will not work, definitely. It will be out of tokens, and you cannot, you get no answer simply. So for the embeddings, there is another tool, also free. It costs nothing. And by the way, the tokens when you send to ChatGPT, they cost money. We have, for example, on our website, we pay for a chatbot. It's not very expensive, something like 20 to 50 euro a month. But the users, they can use our chatbot to find relevant information, because we inject the content of our articles into a vector database, and it's like a search engine, but also summarizing the information from our articles, and we warn the users that it can hallucinate also. Sometimes it delivers something invented, not real, so you have to check, click on the article and read if it's, but at 90% it's good. There is a warning that it can hallucinate, you cannot avoid it. Even with the most accurate system today, it can be wrong on inventing information that is not factual at all. So the tokens cost money, but if you use it locally, it costs nothing. It's free, okay? Anything LLM can process hundreds and thousands of documents. So how does it work? Here is the system. So I created workspaces here. One workspace named CableGate to show you the concept. I uploaded 1,200 cables from CableGate. It's text only. You know this CableGate, right? It was published by WikiLeaks. Those are the cables of the State Department sent from different countries to Washington. And there is a lot of useful information, how the ambassadors and the embassy is assessing the situation in the country, sensitive information about politicians and so on. So it's in the public space for long years now. But imagine that you are in a project, there is another dump of secret cables or some documents, and you don't want to process them on ChatGPT publicly. Of course, it has to stay closed. So you can upload I tried 1,200, but I think it can go up to 10,000 documents. It's not an issue if you have enough memory. So those documents are processed and put in a vector database. And you can also type a website here, and it will scrape the text of the website and include it in your local documents. So in these settings, I was asking, tell me about Bulgarian energy projects and Russian influence in the Bulgarian energy sector, and I got a correct answer with some, and the correct citation, the documents that he used to deliver this information. Then I asked questions about organized crime figures, and I got the documents that are, it's like a search engine, but also it gives you a summary, right? And when you have thousands of documents to read, it's much faster to process them this way. and it gives you a good summary of the. Then you can check, of course, and you must check the document to see if it's factually correct.
This is just on Apple.
No. You can. It's works on any Mac, PC, Windows, but you need at least 16 gigabytes of memory. Yeah.
You mean hard drive or
That's RAM. 16. No, it's not too much. I mean, today you can buy a basic computer with 16. Hmm? Yeah. 16 gigs of RAM. It will run on 8, but you will be not happy with because you use smaller models and they don't deliver. So,
you're not in a hurry, you can just
yeah. Also, I asked questions about political corruption. Sorry?
It's also for free to download, or is the same project? Sorry, I get lost. This is the same, or is it different? Anything else?
The cables from the State Department. So I created many chats on different topics. Energy projects, organized crime, and it gives me the answers found in those cables, right? They have 1,000 documents in the memory. And the embedding system I showed you previously is here. You can see the vector database. It has 10,000 vectors. It means that those 1,200 documents are broken in pieces of 10. You know, for each document, you have 10 chunks of text transformed in numbers and put in your vector database. But
Is it working for other languages or just English?
it works for other languages too, yes. So the general settings and the chat settings are important.
the cables or just the documents in PDF format in different language.
PDF, yes. No, it's not working like a language recognition, but in terms of tokens. It will recognize the symbols. And of course, in English, we have the words mapped to 1 to 1 or 1 to 1.3 tokens, but in Cyrillic, you have more tokens consumed. And, but it doesn't matter because you have those vectors, vector database, and you can expand it. It's not in the memory, it's on the disk. It's written on your hard disk. So we can use up to 10,000 documents in Cyrillic, 20 pages if you want.
No, I mean that if there will be like 5 languages included, Mandarin, Polish.
Well, I didn't try Mandarin, but I think Polish, Czech,
European languages. Like
European languages is fine.
Romanian, Polish,
Yeah, it should be fine.
Italian.
It should be fine.
It will be transforming the responses,
Yes.
the prompts into the language of interface.
You have to ask him. If I ask here, let's ask here on the political corruption. Tell me this in Russian. Now I have. Yeah. So yeah, based on the documents in the context.
Oh, it's a really good
Yeah,
information.
it's our former prime minister who is notoriously corrupt, according to the American ambassador. This is the model I use here. Is I tuned it to use chat settings Gamma 3. Okay, and if you want to use only the documents, not the general knowledge of the model, you can use the query mode. It means that if there is no information found in your documents, it will say nothing. It will not give you any hallucination. And, so it's important to use the query mode. And the chat history, you can put it on the number of previous chats to be included in the, because it adds to the context and consumes tokens, right? And you have a system prompt that is common to all the queries, all the prompts, given the following conversation, relevant context, and a follow-up question. Question reply with an answer to the current question. Return only your response to the question given the above information. That it means you instruct him not to find to please you and to hallucinate. Because the model will always, it works on the prediction of the next word. So it has, it will deliver something, except if you say him stop if you are not sure, if you don't have the information, just don't answer, okay? And if there is no relevant information in the workspace, he stops. So each workspace can have a separate set of documents. This is, you create projects. This is my CableGate project, but I can also have a PEP declarations project and upload the PDF of the declarations. And I did this on our internal server, and it speeds up a lot the things. The vector database also you can optimize for accuracy the answers and set the score. If there are 3 settings, low, medium, high, you have to experiment with the settings to find your what is working for you. So far it's working for one person, right? For me, on my computer. But and this is all a matter of clicking menus. You don't program anything. You don't have to write Python or something. That's the advantage of those relatively new softwares. So yeah, you adjust the settings, accuracy, and so on in query. So what we can do also is to activate, to link LM Studio and anything LLM. LM Studio will be on one computer, and anything LLM can be on many computers in the newsroom. And they both will tap in the model delivered by LM Studio, and you share in this way you share your resources. You don't run. If you, for example, you have a computer that cannot handle a model because it has less than 16 gigs of RAM, you can still use anything LLM and stay in your local network. So how does it work? It's you have to activate the LM Studio server. It's not complicated. Here I have it. I'll show how to do it. So you go to the developer mode, and here there is a developer red icon, and here is the start-stop button of the server. So now the server is running and is serving DeepSeek, but I can ask to serve another model. And here I have the IP address. I'm connected to this Starlink, net. So this is my IP address in the network. If you write this address on your computer now, you will see probably a web page if you are on the same network, and you can use the model. So I activate the server. Here I have some debug information useful for, and then I return to anything LLM. Okay, and we'll Go to the settings, chat settings, and change here from the provider. I can use, by the way, I can use a paid provider. I can use ChatGPT also, but it will send the information to the cloud. It's not good. So I'm taking in this list LM Studio. Okay, it gives me the models available. I will use DeepSeek, okay, in query mode, and update the workspace. And now my anything LLM is using the model provided by LM Studio. It will give me the list here, so it understands they talk each other. Okay, so if I make a new thread, I can ask what let's say, tell me about Bulgaria, Chinese project in Bulgaria. Okay, let's see, it starts reasoning. Based on the provided documents, there is no specific information available about Chinese projects in Bulgaria. That's fair. There are lots of discussion of EU-Russia projects like South Stream, Chevron, and so, but really there is no Chinese projects in Bulgaria. There is no at the time. Now we have, of course. Okay, but here so tell me about South Stream. Tell me about South Stream. You know, this defunct Russian project that became Turk Stream. So it's quite stout progress, political significance, status, the Bulgarian positions, the Russian stance, the nature of the agreement, and so on, and it shows me the documents where it appears. So it works. Another cool feature is the Analytic LLM is that it has agents. The agents they can do web scraping, web browsing, chart generation, but they don't work quite well. For example, the web browsing is working, but the scraping is not working because it's still new. The agents are tools that are connected to the model, and the idea is that you don't need to click on different pages and websites. You can just instruct, scrape me this page. It will go through all the links and deliver a CSV file that you can use in your Excel. That's the future. You don't program it. You query your model to do it for you. And the last, the highest, let's say, level on this small, because we don't use complicated setup, right? Is to deliver, to set up a newsroom server with Docker. Docker is an environment where you run an operating system inside your operating system. So there is a easy setup. It's explained on the Anything LLM web page, how to run Docker, to install Anything LLM, and to run the instance. Here is my Docker, and I have, the name is Seren Elion, it's random, but I have a container running on my local host. Here I'm not on, I will switch down anything LLM. As you see, I'm now on my browser, and I have, yeah. So this is in my browser, right? I accessed it on localhost. But if I type the IP address, and if you type now the IP address, you will get the same page. You can access this from your computer. If you make a VPN connection to your newsroom and access your own server, so you stay private in your network.
Do you check AI try to contact its mother servers? Or?
Switch off the, no, they don't try. You can switch off the internet if you are not sure. Just cut the Wi-Fi. It will not stop working, I'm pretty sure, and it's not contacted because those tools are built with the privacy in mind.
I just became upset.
Yeah. So here I have additional settings. I'm admin, so I can set users. The user guest, and I have a workspace named CableGate, and I added the user guest to this space. Okay. So if I go to another instance of the browser, Safari, for example, now I'm getting this page. If you go to 192.168.90.228, you will get the same page. And you can log in with guest and from 1 to 0. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0. Okay. So here I have my CableGate space, and I can make new conversations and use the same database. Okay. And if I want to extend the access, I will go to my admin and to my workspaces. Here I have a workspace with real estate records, and I will add guest to it. Okay. Then if I reload this page, I will have the real estate records also. Find me the biggest land plot. Let's see if we find something. It's a bit slow because we have a lot of documents. But if I return here to LM Studio, I will see what's going on. Here is the question, find me a biggest land plot, and the answer is streaming currently, not yet, yeah. This is deep-seek reasoning. So he found in one of the document 4,300 square meters. Okay, so the biggest one is 700, 600. And it's situated in Burgas at the Black Sea. And it gives me the number and the cadastral number and everything. That's amazing. So I can query further about this cadastral number. For example, I can ask, so how many owners it had in the past. If I have enough data, it will give me the list of the owners. So this is in guest mode, right? also you have here a history of the chats, so you can spy on your users. What are they doing? Because you are admin, you are a god of the system.
So big companies doing it, right?
Yes, probably. But here, let's say that if you have a 5,000 euro computer, you can comfortably use Gemma or DeepSeek with 10,000 documents for 3-5 persons simultaneously connecting, which is the typical setup of a newsroom. You don't use all the time the AI tools. You use them when you need them. So and it will cost nothing for the software, for the models. It will be only a one-time investment in the server and the setup. And it will become cheaper in the future because you know, the power is the CPU power, the RAM size, and the disk size is getting up. You have this for the same money. You have the double in 2 years or in 3 years, and the models are already enough powerful to and you have the tools to explore a lot of documents, more than we can handle manually. And you have agents skills here. I have, for example, SQL connection to my database, so I can query my database with my pets and connect different sources, documents, database, and it's expandable. It has a lot of nice features. You can query also the web if you use agent find me information about Moldova investigate reporters on the web. There will be a web search and summarizing of the web search results. Of course, it takes a lot more time because you need to search the web and to retrieve up to the relevant results. So if we go now to see how it works on LLM, it will it found almost 4,000 tokens from the previous messages. Here. Okay, so based on latest research, freedom of speech, media, censorship concerns, high-profile investigation, Grivda, I don't know this one. And it hallucinates, of course, because I have previous prompt about bird. So you have to start a new, you have to avoid such mix, you just start a new thread and you don't have the previous context and you can ask your question, it will give clean results, okay? So I think we've finished now. If you have questions, I'm... Sorry?
You said previously that it is...
It works without internet, but you can... Huh?
How is it possible?
So, because you download the model on your hard disk, here I will cut off internet, okay? And I upload my documents. Everything goes in a database on my computer.
But if you ask something about it, like that he has to, or it has to.
Yes, if you need to search internet, you switch on the internet. So you have different case scenarios. You work with confidential information, your documents, you stay in one workspace without internet. If you need to search internet, you create another workspace, switch on internet, but it will not mix with your, it will never send your documents to the internet except if you want it, except if you do it, okay? Or you can use, for example, LM Studio for going to internet and anything LLM for the closed system. It's flexible, okay? So I think it worth talking to your this is another one, to your editor to set up a local newsroom system. It is the let's say reasonably if you use this for your investigations, it will spare you half of the time for document searching. Of course, you have to be careful about hallucinations and so on, but it bootstraps a lot. For example, I had an example of a complex document from Bulgarian secret services where they wrote in one line many bank transactions. On the half of the page, I just copy paste and ask, give me a clean table with date from to IBAN amount proposed, and I have a table. I don't have to make it manually. But many cases you can ease your life with AI models, and it's free. It's private. It's you can use it with very little investment. The learning curve is not like this, not, I mean, yeah, flat. So it's like this. In 2 days, you are master of your documents and of the models and everything. Thank you for the attention. And hands-on, try, experiment, and questions? If you have questions, you can contact me. I will.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's very interesting, actually. I will try at home and I see if it works. Really, it is not.
No, it's not magic. It's a technology. It works.